Welcome back to part 2 of my alternate route into Crown King. I last left you by the fire where, other than a couple of coyotes howling, was a pretty uneventful evening. In this episode, we'll finish making our way to Crown King, visit the historic saloon, and oh yeah, that thing that altered everything, we'll find out what that is. So stick around. And if you're new here, my name's Andrew, and this is Coast to Coast Off-Road Adventures.
Good morning. Cheers. This morning's cup of coffee brought to you by New Ground Off-Road. Links are in the description. Go check them out and save 5% on their New Ground branded items like my tent, my awning, my rooftop camper shell, and my shower awning. They're also an ice cold fridge dealer, so go get yourself a fridge. Use my code C2C5 to save 5% on the New Ground branded items only, not the ice cold fridges. But Ryan and the crew, thank you for my coffee cup and for being a channel sponsor. It's cold out here. It's 40 something degrees. Sun feels good on my face. Sun coming up over the canyon there. Airplanes flying overhead seem to always follow me around. It is about 8:45 in the morning. I'm gonna leave here, try to leave in the next 15 minutes. I already have everything packed away. Really, the only thing to put up was my axe and a couple pieces of firewood left over. I've already popped the extension in on my rooftop tent, so all I got to do is pull it down and lock it, and I'm good to go. So I've got probably 2 hours of dirt to get to Crown King. I imagine after this campsite, the road will continue to get more challenging as we climb up towards Crown King. I don't know. I've never been there, so I don't know what I'm in for. But we're along for the ride, right? So stick around. Make our way into Crown King and maybe pay a visit to the historic saloon. I think I'll do that. All right. Catch y'all later. The things we do to make a video. Some of you might ask, why didn't I just back down the hill? Well, when you go off-roading more than you go hiking, you gotta get your exercise somehow. All right, back to the Jeep.
Do you remember how in part 1 of this series, the intro talked about something altering everything? Well, that something is this right here. So, I just ran over my Insta 360 Ace Pro. I hope I can get the footage off of it. Otherwise, half this trip is gone. Look at this, guys. Yeah, the memory card is gonna be almost impossible to get out of there. I really hope I can salvage it. I had it on a magnet mount, and the magnet didn't fall off. It's the quick connect coupler that let go, and it dropped. So I don't think I'll be using quick connect couplers anymore. Dang it. All right, so right here is where I ran over my Insta 360 Ace Pro $450 action camera. I'll turn you around here in a minute, but I had a magnetic mount on the side of my truck filming me going up this hill and over some bigger rocks and stuff, and it uses a quick connect, and the magnetic mount didn't fall off, but the quick connect coupler like let loose and the camera dropped. My back tire ran over it. And I knew the second I did it because I heard this loud crunch that wasn't a crunch like rocks. And I looked and the camera wasn't there anymore. Stopped and walked back, and yeah, it's destroyed. But anyway, so I'm out here again 2 weekends in a row to film the same video. So I gotta hand it to Best Buy though. If you buy anything from Best Buy, get their total warranty package. I went into the Best Buy, gave them my completely destroyed camera, and they said, yeah, that doesn't look like it works anymore. And just said, what do you want, store credit or the same camera? And they gave me store credit because I didn't know what they had in stock, you know. So $450 store credit. All right. And went and bought a new camera. So if you're buying anything from Best Buy, get their total warranty package, especially if you do stuff like I do. You know, mount cameras to the side of your Jeep or stuff that could break it easily. Anyway, this is where it all happened. Right here. I'll turn you around. Going up this hill. I think it happened somewhere around there. Out here, things don't go always as planned. What adventure really ever does? So I ran over my camera. Lost 80% of my footage. I could have said, well, I guess I won't make this video. could have given up and let the trail defeat me. But that's not who we are. That's not what we do. When life gives us lemons, we squeeze the hell out of them. Make the most delicious lemonade you've ever had. Throw it in our ice cold refrigerator. Buy another camera and get back out there. Same road, same dust, same determination. Because the trail doesn't care when we mess up. It only cares if we quit.
Okay, this is a questionable obstacle. I know I can get through it. But if I'm gonna bring a Patreon group out here, this might not be passable by some people. Let's take a look at it. Cameras don't do these things justice, but this is not very. Got this big rock here, and then there, it's not a very wide, it's just wide enough for my Jeep, but you can see I'm right there. So I'm gonna set a tripod up and go through this thing. See how it does. So after that narrow creek ditch crossing, there is a pretty steep climb out of it. So I think most vehicles, like a 4Runner or a Tacoma or like a Chevy Colorado, would make it through that if they're 4-wheel drive and have somewhat of a lift on them. I don't know that a stock vehicle would make it through that without, well, you're definitely going to scrape your bumper. I scraped my bumper, but I'm long, and also I haven't replaced my rear coils yet to compensate for the added weight in my rear, so I'm sagging a little bit. I'm doing that in a couple of weeks. They're on order. They're supposed to be in a week or two. But anyway, if you are a stock vehicle, you're probably going to scrape your bumper, and you might have to get pulled out with a winch. So just take that into consideration if you are planning on coming out here. So right here, I'll show you on the map. This road to the right is the Jeep badge, the back way to Crown King. I'll be doing that later this month or the 1st of January with a couple other rigs. But this right here is where I will come out at. I took the alternate route, like I said, for a possible Patreon member group. I know I've said that a bunch. That seems to be the theme of this video, but if you haven't, go join on my Patreon. The link's in the description below, and you can be invited to come on a Patreon member-only trip. And I'm out here this weekend for the 2nd time in a row because I ran over my action camera and lost all my footage, to scout out a possible trip for Patreon. So head on over there and join any level, and you can come along on a trip with me.
You know, in part 1 of this series, I talked about how I couldn't help but think of how life back then was lived. As I draw closer to Crown King, I'm reminded of that again. I've driven 50 miles of rugged road, again, to get here in a Jeep, and I think about riding these roads on horse and buggy. The lure that brought them here, a gold-colored promise, the chance that somewhere in these mountains a better life was waiting. What brings me here are history's reminders of a simpler time. What was once a thriving mountain town where minds ran day and night, and the roads to get here weren't for adventure, but survival, is now just that, a reminder of how life was lived not that long ago. Back then, men came here to chase a paycheck that might cost them their lives. They spent their days underground, breathing dust, trusting timbers, risking everything for the chance to provide for their families. And when the shift was over, this town was where they came to wash the grit from their hands, share a drink, swap stories, and find a moment of relief before doing it all over again. Today we come here for a cold drink too, but for a very different reason. We come to unplug, to slow down, and to remember. The danger is gone. The struggle, not real anymore, but the echoes remain. These buildings, these roads, these mountains, they still carry the weight of the people who built them. For me, that's what makes a place like Crown King special. It's not just the destination, it's the history beneath my tires, the stories beneath the surface, and the reminder of how far we've come.
Well, that is the alternate route to Crown King. That's gonna do it for this week's video. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's the #1 thing you can do to help me grow. And go check out some of my other videos. If you haven't yet, join my Patreon. The link's in the description. I'll be inviting every member on a trip coming up, probably in February. So be looking out for that. Head on over there and join if you want to be a part of that trip. And I want to thank my one and only and very first Patreon member, Brian Vinson. Dude, you rock. Thank you so much for being my first Patreon member. Appreciate you coming along with me on the alternate route to Crown King. I'm going to leave you a couple more videos right here that I think you might like. I'll catch you on the next one.